coming up off the tray, and they go, and they're about this big, and he goes, and the guy catches it. Okay, madam, how about this one? And Jane says, no, I don't like that one. Oh, throws it back. She doesn't like that one, she wants another one. How about this one? Yeah, that's about the one. And then he makes someone's day. How are you going to cook this, madam? I'll tell you how. Put a bit of butter on it, a bit of cumin and sugar in it, put a bit of pepper, stick it in the oven 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, it'll be brilliant. So they're having fun and they're helping people. Because they say, being a fishmonger is a dirty job.
True.
Not many people want to do it. But if we choose to do it, we're going to do it like this. So that our day is great and everybody who comes to see us. Now people go and actually just go and watch these guys work because they're having so much fun. And what's happened is people in very fancy businesses have gone and filmed these guys and said, if this is how they work in a fish stall, I want to work like that in my business.
Yeah.
How do we change this into my business? So that's a question for you. How do you make your business model this? Because this is the fish pig market, and they do brilliant business. They sell more fish per square meter than any fish market on the planet.
Wow.
And they don't go out to try to gain business. They're not going and trying to push fish in your face. They're not trying to make money, but they do. Because of this. So that every square meter they sell more fish than any other fish market anywhere. Because they have fun. So, be committed to today. What are the ground rules do we need to have? Yeah. Be passionate about today. Okay? Because this is about today. This is not about life. This is about rules we need today. So if Zippy says you're going to be passionate, I want to see you all be passionate. Because these are our rules, right? Yes. So I need passion then. What are the things, what are the rules do we need today to help us work? Yeah? No unnecessary movements. Okay. Why? Okay, no unnecessary. Can I put no distracting? Because I'm going to have you move a lot in a minute. Okay. No distracting. Because this isn't school. You're not sitting in the desk and the teacher's going to smack you on the wrist if you do anything wrong. Okay, no distracting movements. But you are going to move. Yeah? Respect. What does respect mean? Because, Patricia, yeah? Is it Patricia?
Respect.
Yes, but your name is Patricia?
Beatrice.
Beatrice, I'm sorry. Okay, respect. What does respect mean? What do you mean by that, Beatrice?
We need to respect each other when we are working together.
What does respect mean then? How do you show respect?
You be friendly and you tell us not to move outside.
No, I mean today. There's not ifs.
Today.
Right now. What is respect? Because you see, the only day that counts is today. I don't want to know what you might do another day because I'm not here to see it. Respect, what does it mean for you, Isabella?
Okay. I think we need to be attentive and talk only when asked.
Okay, I'm going to put that up, but it doesn't answer my question. Talk only when we're asked to. I'm not going to put that up yet. I'm still going on respect. What does it mean?
When somebody starts in opinion, you must listen to them.
Okay, so it means listen to others' opinions. All right? What other rules do we need for today? Do we only talk when we're asked?
The switch off for a mobile.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Switch off the mobiles. Because, you know, I said I've got my daughter having her exam for university. I've got my son with his kittens in Los Angeles. I've got my husband just traveling to Canada. And I'd love to know what they're all doing. But my phone is in my bag and it's switched off. And I'll switch it on at lunchtime when I'm not working with you. Because if it goes on and I answer it, I'm not 100% present with you, am I? No. So if I want my fish philosophy, I can't have the phone on. Any other rules that we need?
Love each other.
Oh, and how are we going to do that? How would you show that you love each other today?
No gossip.
No gossip. No gossip. So I don't want to know, doesn't Pam have a fat bum in those jeans outside? No gossip outside. Okay? If you're going to tell me that, tell me to my face.
Yeah.
No chorus answers.
No?
Chorus answers.
What does that mean, no chorus answers?
At the time you ask the question, somebody will raise their hand up and answer instead of answering.
Everybody answer. I don't mind that. Does that mean to you? Do we want to put our hands up and answer, or do we just want to say, I have a... We have to what? Put your hands up to speak. What about in your small groups?
In some group that is different.
Okay.
Let's say somebody will ask a question. And if we answer all, will you guess? You'll answer different.
Okay. So one at a time we call this plenary. Do you know that word? When everybody's in a big group, we call it the plenary group. So, so hands for plenary. And then in the small groups you can have, but what I want you to do in the small groups though is everybody talks. Yeah? Everybody talks in the small groups. But the word in here is one thing, but the behavior as I walk and the behavior in my hands of what I do are what really matters. So I can't say these words if I'm not going to do the behavior. And the Loretta sisters, and I've forgotten what they said, Mary Ward said, basically she said walk the talk, didn't she? She said we will be authentic to who we are, we will act as we think.
Be what you are and appear as what you are.
That's right, be what you are and appear what you are. She was centuries before her time, because in business we say walk the talk. But Mary Ward said that in the 1600s. Be what you are. So it's no good just saying you're going to respect people, or you're going to be fair, or you're going to give a fair relationship with your customer. You have to do it and be seen to do it. All right? So these are our ground rules for today. Everybody happy with the ground rules? Yes. We think we've got enough to keep us going. I think one page of rules is enough for everybody. What you can do is take these and put them on your door at home and say to your kids, right, these are the rules of this house. But you need to have, clean the doorstep and clean up after you and make sure that you put your rubbish outside and all that stuff. Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit now, I want to have you do a little exercise on what it feels like not to get, or what good communication is, and what it's like when I don't have the information that I need to do the work that I need to do. All right? So I'd like to have you go in, just work in threes. Do you want to just get into groups of three? Just hang, so you all just turn around, do I need to count you up, or can you just put yourself in threes? Number ones, you get the blindfold. Who's number one? Yeah? Number one? Okay, number ones. Beatrice, Phyllis, do you want to hand out some of these for me? The number ones get blindfolds. Who's number one, Josephine? Number ones. Who's number one? Who's number one? Number one, Zippy? Number one? Any more number ones? Now, these are the rules. Number ones, you've got to put your blindfolds on now. All right? Number ones in a blindfold, so you can't see anymore. Ooh. Number one. Number twos, you are going to have to communicate to number ones and help them do this task. And number threes, you're going to just watch and just watch what happens, so you can feed back. Watch what the number ones do, and watch how the number twos explain things. So you're going to watch to see what works, and you're going to watch to see what doesn't work. Once you start the exercise, I'm going to shuffle the chairs around, and the rules of the exercise are you must not touch any of the chairs. So as you're walking around the room, if anybody bumps into anything, they're out of the game. They have to sit down. And there are goals around the room, and they've got some tape around them, and you can't get very close to them. And so where are the number? Okay, number one, so you've also got a ball. Number one. Oh, I need more balls. There's yours. Phyllis, do you want to make a few more of these? I need number 5. All right, there's your ball. Number 2 is you have to help this person navigate the room and find the goal, and they've got to drop their ball and hit the goal. And if they don't hit the goal, you lose. So if they touch a chair, you lose. So if everybody got a goal, okay, everybody stand up out of their seats. And just stay where you are for a minute. Just stand up. Just stand up. Everybody stand up. Okay? Yeah. Okay? Stand up. So you've got to stop them hurting themselves by walking into chairs. You've got to keep them on the right path so they're going to their goal. And you've got to help them hit the target once they get there. You cannot touch them. And if you hit anything, you take them out to the side of the game, they're out. And the sister over there will say whether or not you obey the rules around the goal. You mustn't go anywhere closer to it than the tape. And you have to hit the piece of paper with the ball. Are you, everybody clear what they're doing? Yes. Off you go.
My dream is to fly over the rainbow so high. My dream is to fly over the rainbow so high. My dream is to fly over the rainbow so high. My dream is to fly over the rainbow so high.
Blindfolded people. Tell me what it felt like to be blindfolded. Blindfolded people. What did it feel like, Zippy?
I just had to trust the powerful direction.
Oh, I just had to I want the fish philosophy up. We'll stick that one up there. So, shout that one out again to me. You had to trust them. Okay? Tell me somebody else. How did it feel? How did it feel to be blindfolded? Some another blindfold.
It's just like you have never been the one before.
Oh,
You have never seen the one before.
Okay, never been in the world before. Somebody else tell me, what did it feel like to be blindfolded?
Difficult in walking.
Difficult to walk? Difficult to walk? Somebody else, how did you feel when you were blindfolded?
I had fear.
Had fear. Yes. I had fear. How else? Somebody else tell me, how did they feel to be blindfolded?
Can't see nothing, anything.
You can't see anything? That's what happens to you, but how did you feel? Someone else tell me how they felt being blindfolded. Oh, no self-worth. No self-worth when I'm blind. No self-worth. Somebody else who was blindfolded, tell me what it felt like. How did you feel when you had the blindfolds on? Anybody else? Who else had blindfolds?
I could not see where I was going.
And how does that make you feel, Margaret?
I did fear.
You also, you felt fear. You were scared. Yeah? I can't see anything. I can't walk. I feel like I've never been here before. So I again, somebody else, where is it? I felt fear. Anybody else had any other emotions as they were being blindfolded? What about when they were walking you around? Yeah.
You can't move fast.
Yes, I'm slow. I can't move fast. So it slows me down. I can't go at my usual pace. I can't say, oh, hang on. What did you say? I have to go, and you were all taking baby steps. I can't move fast. It slows me down. What else did you feel if you were blindfolded?
Being blind affects all parts of your body, movement, everything.
No, but how did you? Because I don't want to know how other people felt. I want to know how you felt if you were blindfolded. What did you feel?
I feel I must be guided everywhere.
Okay, I need to be guided. So I'm not independent. Yeah? So I must be guided. That means I'm not. You had to explain. What was your job like? Hang on, let me see. I want to get our ground rules out. So we can. Now these fellas have to be in a place where they all see them, and so I can beat them over their heads if they don't obey the ground rules. Thank you. I wouldn't do it. People who were responsible for the blindfolded, the communicators. Put this down. The communicators. Tell me, you had a big responsibility. How did you feel? What was it?
Those guys are because they are not following people.
Aha! Tiresome. Of course they weren't following you, she was blind. Okay, they weren't following instructions. Other observations from the people who had to do the communication, had to talk and help them. What was it like for you? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Who were number twos? Who were the number twos?
Sometimes it's like the person is not really understanding. You tell her forward, but maybe she's facing the other side. So you have to say, no, the other side.
Ah, okay. She doesn't understand. And you say something like, forward. But if she's facing the wrong way, and you're facing this way and you say forward, and she's facing that way, where's she going to go? The wrong way, but it's the right way for her. It's the wrong way for you. Who's at fault?
The instructor.
Ah! The person with the blindfold can't be at fault. She doesn't know any better. So the instructor who says forward has to find another word.
It was hard time to direct her.
It was what?
Hard time.
It was hard time. Yeah, you had a hard time. It was difficult. What was particularly difficult? What were the specific things that were difficult? Mary?
I felt that she's not going to follow the ground rules.
In what way? In what way? What do you mean? When you say I thought she wasn't going to follow the ground rules?
When she was going to take the ball there, I thought that she was not going to reach the ground rules at the goal.
Okay, you thought that so you didn't think she could succeed. Okay? You felt she couldn't succeed. Yeah? So she couldn't succeed. She couldn't follow the rules of the game. She couldn't follow the rules. If I don't know, if I can't see, if I haven't been told, how can I do the right thing? If you're not helping me, if I'm not understanding which direction I should walk, and how far I should put out my hand, and when I should drop my ball, and where the target is, if I don't know all those things, how can I be expected to succeed? Anyone, you're all on your own, right? He said here, what did we say? We have competition because we're competing with each other. If there's not availability of product, how can we do that? I get some business right now. I have another piece of work in Cairo, and I can't do it because I'm here. So either I say no to the organization who wants me to go and train their people in Cairo, or I say to one of my colleagues, Luciana, I have this piece of business. Can you go and do it for me? But you have to do it my way because it's my workshop. And so I'll teach you how to do it, and I'll give you this amount of money if you will do the business for me. And I have to trust you not to take my client and steal my business, not to steal my material because I've written the course and it's my material, not to steal my PowerPoint presentations because I'm going to give them all to you and I've spent weeks designing them. And so this is all I don't have a product like beads or a fern, I don't make clothes, I don't make products, I create ideas. And so if I give you my idea, can I trust you with my idea? Will you not use it and sell it yourself? But if I don't trust her, and she's doing this one, I have another colleague, Bill, and he went and did another one for me, and I have another colleague, Louise, and she sometimes does another one for me. And so I pay her the bulk of the money I get, and I take a little percentage. And sometimes, if it's all my material, it might be 20%, and sometimes it's 25%, and sometimes it's only 10%, because they do some of the work. And so they get 90% or 75% of my bill of what I earn, and I get a little bit. Because they're doing the work for me, and I'm trusting them with my business. And if I don't trust them with my business, I have to say no to the work, and I don't even get the 25% or the 10% that I could get. So while I'm here, I'm earning just that money because I'm trusting them to help me out with my business. Now, if I don't do that, I can only do what I can do. And if I'm physically in another country, I can't be doing the work there. Now, sometimes you need a contract. And when I first worked with some people, I thought, okay, I need a contract here, clearly. And my contract said, you will work for this amount of money on these days for my client. You will not take my client afterwards. It's my client. And I will continue to give you work. The work will be done this much, I'll pay you on this day, I'll pay your airfare, we'll pay you for your food, and then you'll get this amount at the end of the business. So sometimes I have a contract, and with some people, I have another friend who says, I do work for him, he does work for me. And we have the same arrangement. So if I do the work for him, it's the same arrangement. If he does the work for me, it's the same arrangement. But if I don't trust people, I can't grow my business. I can only do what I can cope with. And so you have to decide, how will your business work? Is it only what you can do? Or can you work with somebody else? Or can you work sometimes together? If your child has to go to the hospital or you have to go shopping and your shop has to stay closed, can somebody else do that bit of work for you? And you might pay them a little bit. But if you didn't have the shop open, you wouldn't be earning anything, would you? And so you have to give some of it away, but at least you're getting something that might even pay for the visit to the clinic. Whatever. So that's something you have to decide how that works. Were there any other lessons in that little exercise that you did that you felt were important to your business? No? We got them all out? Okay, so we want to build on some of those lessons and more of them. Did you like that? Was that fun?
Yes.
Okay, so at least we hit the fun mark there. Did you get some lessons from it? Is it making you think a little bit? All right, good. Because I have some other lessons I want to do with you. And this next one has to do with listening. We're going to talk about giving the instructions later, because now we've seen how somebody said it's quite difficult to give instructions. If I say left and she means she's facing me, is which left is it and whose left is it? Is it up and down? And I saw somebody going, no, further, 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 and they didn't know how far because you don't know where the goal is. Yeah? And so having to be really, really precise about the instructions. But also, how do we make sure that we're listening? Now, one of the things you said was, I want to improve my business here, I want to be better with my relationships, and better with my clients. One of the most important things you can do for anyone, what do you think? Sometimes you can't help them. Sometimes you're not in a position, you can't solve their problems for them, you can't change their lives for them. You can't give them money because you don't have it. But a lot of the times when I'm working with people who are really, they're struggling, they have a problem, they have an illness, their child isn't doing this, they're going to lose their job, whatever it is, and oftentimes I can't do anything at all. But sometimes I'll just go and say, look, I'll come in and have a cup of coffee, and I just listen. And they say afterwards, oh, that's really helpful, thank you. And I do nothing. Oh, I feel so much better. Yes, I can cope now. And they go off and they do something wonderful and they solve it sometimes. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. And I didn't do anything. Except, where is the time one? I need to get these up because he said, yeah, I gave them my time. So we're going to do, can you stay in the same threes? Number ones and number twos stay here. Number threes, come with me very quickly outside on the grass.
I'm going to ask you to sit in little groups, so there's two of you, and there's going to be one observer. And you're going to listen to the story. And at first, I want you to look like you're listening. And then, quite quickly, I want you to do things that are distracting. Play with your skirt, play with your fingernails, play with your t-shirt, do something else. And just act like you're not interested in the story. And just see how long we can keep that going.
You're just going to watch what happens. And number threes are coming in, and they're just going to listen to the story. Is everybody clear? Yes. So number ones, tell a story of a favourite story from your childhood. Something that was fun or something that you're nice. Something good you did at school, something you did when you were a child, a story you like to tell. Is that okay? Everybody has a story like that? Yeah? Just a fun story, a story you'd like to tell. It might have been a nice trip out to the church one day, it might have been a Christmas service, it might have been anything at all. But tell us a nice story about your childhood. And number twos, you're just going to watch what happens in this communication so that you can tell me afterwards what you saw. All right? Everybody knows what they're doing. Right, number threes, you can come in. So get in your little three clusters. Number threes, come and sit opposite number ones because you're going to hear a story. So they're going to tell you a lovely story. So go and sit opposite the number ones.
City lights shine on the harbor, night has fallen down. Through the darkness and the shadow, I will still go on. Long, long journey through the darkness, long, long way to go. But what are miles across the ocean to the heart that's coming home? Where the road runs through the valley, where the river flows, I will follow every highway to the place I know. Long, long journey through the darkness, long,
and we come up front. So, somebody tell me what happened. You had this lovely story to tell.
I saw two ladies. One of them was trying to talk, but the other one seemed not to be listening. She was like the whole body was itching. So it's busy, throwing pants down. So I don't know what was happening.
How rude. What else was happening? What else did you see? Well, people who were observing, what did you see? Anyone? Listening, you need to be sitting right opposite the person you're talking to, and the observer needs to be a little bit out of the way, because you're not really part of the conversation. You're just eavesdropping. Okay? You're just watching, and you want to be able to see both people. And so, number 3 is, you're going to think of a story of the best communicator you know. The best communicator. It could be a preacher, it could be someone in church, it could be a school teacher, it could be your mother, it could be your grandmother, it could be somebody in your community, it could be anyone at all. But think of somebody who you think is a really, really good communicator. And I want you to tell the story of what it is they do to demonstrate that they have these wonderful communication skills. So, okay, number 3 is you're going to be telling the story of the best communicator you know. This is who it is, these are the kind of things you do.